journey into the shadows of reality in the dimly lit corners of our world, where the mundane meets the mysterious, lies a realm shrouded in whispers and shadows, urban legends. These tales, passed down through generations, often dismissed as mere folklore, hold an eerie allure that captivates the imagination. Welcome to Top 10 Creepiest Urban Legends That Might Be True, where we delve deep into the chilling narratives that blur the lines between fiction and reality. This article invites you on a spine-tingling journey through the darkest alleys of human lore, exploring stories so unsettling they might just be true. Urban legends are more than just campfire tales. They are reflections of societal fears, historical events, and the unexplainable phenomena that linger at the edges of our understanding. From haunted highways to cursed objects, these stories tap into our primal instincts, stirring a cocktail of fear and fascination that keeps us coming back for more. Whether it's the thrill of the unknown or the need to make sense of the inexplicable, urban legends serve as a mirror to our collective psyche, revealing what truly terrifies us. As storytellers, we understand the power of a well-crafted narrative. Each legend we explore is not merely a story but a portal to another dimension, a place where the ordinary rules of reality do not apply. Here, shadows move with intent, objects come alive with malevolent energy, and the past reaches out to touch the present in ways both subtle and profound. Our goal is to guide you through this labyrinth of horror, peeling back the layers of myth and speculation to uncover the truths that may lie beneath. So, tighten your grip on the flashlight, steady your nerves, and prepare to step into the unknown. Over the next sections, we will unravel 10 of the creepiest urban legends that continue to haunt the fringes of our reality. Each tale has been carefully selected for its ability to chill the blood and provoke thought, leaving you questioning what is real and what is imagined. Whether you're a skeptic seeking evidence or a believer eager for validation, this exploration promises to challenge your perceptions and ignite your imagination. Join us as we venture into the heart of darkness, where every whisper could be a warning, and every shadow might hide a secret. Let the journey begin, and remember, sometimes, the truth is far stranger, and far scarier, than fiction. The legend of the black-eyed children, a doorstep of dread among the pantheon of urban legends, few are as unsettling and pervasive as the tale of the black-eyed children. These eerie figures, described as possessing jet-black eyes devoid of any natural coloration, have reportedly appeared across various locations, instilling terror in those who encounter them. Their modus operandi typically involves approaching individuals at night, often at their homes or vehicles, and requesting entry or assistance. Despite their seemingly innocent pleas, witnesses recount an overwhelming sense of dread and compulsion to comply, as if under some unseen influence. The origins of the black-eyed children legend are as murky as the dark pools of their eyes. One of the earliest documented accounts traces back to the late 1990s, when journalist Brian Bethel recounted his harrowing experience in Abilene, Texas. According to Bethel, 2 children approached his car at a movie theater parking lot, asking for a ride. Their unnaturally pale skin and pitch-black eyes sent chills down his spine, compelling him to lock his doors and drive away in haste. Since then, similar reports have emerged worldwide, from suburban neighborhoods in America to remote villages in Europe, each echoing the same chilling pattern. What makes the black-eyed children particularly terrifying is their consistent demeanor. Witnesses describe them as polite yet insistent, their voices calm but laced with an underlying urgency. They often use phrases like, "We need help," or "Can we come in?" which, while innocuous on the surface, carry an implicit threat. Many claim that direct eye contact with these children induces a paralyzing fear, making refusal nearly impossible. Some even report physical symptoms such as nausea or dizziness upon encountering them, further fueling the belief that these entities possess supernatural powers. Theories abound regarding the true nature of the black-eyed children. Paranormal investigators speculate that they could be manifestations of evil spirits or demons, using their childlike appearance to disarm potential victims. Others suggest they might be extraterrestrial beings, conducting experiments on unsuspecting humans under the guise of innocence. Skeptics, however, argue that these sightings are products of mass hysteria or misidentified phenomena, pointing to psychological factors such as pareidolia, the tendency to perceive meaningful patterns in random stimuli, as possible explanations. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, numerous first-hand accounts lend credence to the legend. In 2015, a Reddit user shared a detailed post about an encounter with two black-eyed children knocking on their front door late at night. The user claimed that despite locking all entrances and calling the police, the children vanished without a trace before authorities arrived. Similarly, a viral video from 2017 purportedly captured footage of a black-eyed child standing motionless in a suburban backyard, its hollow gaze fixed directly at the camera. While skeptics dismiss the clip as a hoax, the sheer number of corroborating stories suggests there may be more to these encounters than mere fabrication. Adding to the mystery is the recurring theme of warnings associated with the black-eyed children. Those who heed their requests often speak of dire consequences. Doors left open find houses ransacked, cars abandoned mysteriously break down, and families plagued by unexplained illnesses. Conversely, individuals who manage to resist their advances frequently report narrowly escaping disaster, as if rejecting their entry somehow thwarts a greater calamity. This dichotomy fuels the legend's potency, blurring the line between coincidence and causation. Whether viewed as demonic entities, alien visitors, or psychological anomalies, the black-eyed children remain one of the most enduring and enigmatic urban legends. Their presence serves as a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability to the unknown, challenging our perceptions of reality and inviting us to question what lurks beyond the threshold of comprehension. As we continue our exploration of creepy urban legends, let the tale of the black-eyed children stand as a testament to the power of storytelling and the eternal quest to understand the inexplicable. The Curse of the Hope Diamond, a gemstone steeped in sorrow among the myriad of urban legends that tantalize our imaginations, the tale of the Hope Diamond stands out. Not only for its shimmering beauty, but also for the tragic history that allegedly clings to it like a sinister shadow. This breathtaking blue gemstone, renowned for its unparalleled brilliance, has traversed centuries and continents, leaving behind a trail of misfortune, despair, and untimely deaths. Is it merely a string of coincidences, or does the diamond truly harbor a malevolent curse? As we delve into this infamous legend, we uncover a tapestry of intrigue, greed, and sorrow that continues to captivate and terrify. The Hope Diamond's origins trace back to the Kolar mine in Golconda, India, during the 17th century. Initially part of a larger rough stone weighing over 112 carats, the gem was said to have been stolen from the forehead of a Hindu idol, an act believed to invoke divine retribution. According to local lore, the theft unleashed a curse upon anyone who dared to possess the diamond. The thief, a French merchant named Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, sold the stone to King Louis XIV of France in 1668. What followed was a series of calamities that seemed to afflict everyone connected to the gem. Louis XIV himself commissioned the stone to be recut into a 67.125-carat diamond known as the French blue, which he wore proudly as a symbol of his wealth and power. Yet, his reign ended in turmoil, culminating in the French Revolution, during which the monarchy was overthrown and many of its members met violent ends. The diamond disappeared in the chaos, resurfacing decades later in England, where it was acquired by King George IV. His ownership of the gem coincided with financial ruin and personal disgrace, leading him to sell it to settle his debts. The diamond's journey did not end there. It eventually found its way into the hands of Henry Philip Hope, a wealthy British banker whose family name became synonymous with the gem. However, prosperity eluded the Hopes after acquiring the diamond. Financial woes plagued the family, and disputes over the inheritance of the stone tore them apart. By the early 20th century, the Hope diamond had become notorious for the misfortunes that befell its owners, earning it a reputation as one of the most cursed objects in history. One of the most chilling chapters in the diamond saga unfolded in the United States. In 1911, Evelyn Walsh McLean, a socialite and heiress, purchased the Hope diamond, believing that her immense fortune would shield her from its curse. Tragically, her life spiraled into a series of devastating events. Her son died in a car accident at the age of 9, her daughter took her own life at 25, and her husband was institutionalized for mental illness before dying in a sanitarium. Evelyn herself endured years of personal suffering, including the loss of her beloved dog, which was crushed by a car while wearing the diamond around its neck. Despite her initial skepticism, she came to believe that the curse was real, though she refused to part with the gem until her death. Modern interpretations of the Hope Diamond's curse vary widely. Some dismiss the legend as a fabrication designed to enhance the stone's mystique and value. Others point to historical records and anecdotal evidence, arguing that the pattern of tragedy surrounding the diamond is too consistent to ignore. Scientific explanations have also been proposed, suggesting that radiation within the diamond's structure might emit harmful effects. However, no definitive proof has emerged to substantiate these claims. Today, the Hope Diamond resides in the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., where it draws millions of visitors annually. Encased in bulletproof glass and surrounded by state-of-the-art security measures, the gemstone remains both a marvel and a mystery. Curators have reported strange occurrences since its arrival, including equipment malfunctions and inexplicable temperature fluctuations. While skeptics attribute these incidents to coincidence or technical errors, others see them as further evidence of the curse's lingering presence. What makes the Hope Diamond's legend so compelling is its intersection of beauty and tragedy. The juxtaposition of its dazzling allure with the grim fate of its owners creates a narrative that resonates deeply with human emotions. It taps into our fascination with wealth and power, as well as our fear of hubris and divine retribution. For those who believe in the curse, the diamond serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most coveted treasures can exact a terrible price. As we reflect on the Hope Diamond's storied past, it becomes clear why this urban legend occupies a unique place in our collective consciousness. Whether viewed as a supernatural phenomenon or a product of human imagination, the tale of the cursed gemstone continues to inspire awe and apprehension. Its legacy is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling, weaving together history, mystery, and the timeless question of whether certain objects carry energies beyond our understanding. And so, the Hope Diamond remains not just a jewel but a symbol of the delicate balance between desire and consequence, forever shrouded in an aura of enigma and dread. The haunting of the Amityville house. A nightmare beyond comprehension. Few urban legends have captured the public's imagination quite like the haunting of the Amityville house. Nestled in a quiet Long Island neighborhood, 112 Ocean Avenue became infamous not only for its architectural charm but also for the horrifying events that unfolded within its walls. What began as a grisly murder case soon spiraled into one of the most debated paranormal mysteries of modern times, sparking endless speculation, skepticism, and fear. Was the house truly a portal to the supernatural, or was it all an elaborate fabrication? The answers remain elusive, but the chilling details of the Amityville haunting continue to send shivers down spines. The story begins on November 13, 1974, when Ronald DeFeo Jr., a 23-year-old resident of the house, committed a heinous crime that shocked the nation. In the dead of night, DeFeo murdered 6 members of his family, his parents and 4 siblings, using a .35 caliber rifle. He claimed that voices in his head compelled him to commit the act, insisting that he had no control over his actions. The brutality of the murders, coupled with DeFeo's erratic behavior during his trial, cast an ominous shadow over the property. Though DeFeo was sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms, his cryptic statements about the house being haunted planted the seeds of what would become a national obsession. 13 months later, in December 1975, the Lutz family moved into 112 Ocean Avenue, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, purchased the home for $80,000, a bargain considering its size and location. From the outset, things felt off. On their first night, the family reported hearing loud banging noises and experiencing a sudden drop in temperature throughout the house. But these were merely preludes to the nightmare that would unfold over the next 28 days. According to the Lutzes, the house quickly became a hotbed of inexplicable phenomena. Doors would slam shut on their own, green slime oozed from the walls, and foul odors permeated the air without explanation. Objects moved inexplicably, furniture rearranged itself overnight, and ghostly apparitions appeared in hallways and bedrooms. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect was the alleged presence of a malevolent entity that communicated with George Lutz through telepathic messages, urging him to commit unspeakable acts. At one point, George claimed to have seen glowing red eyes staring at him from the darkness of the basement, a detail that would later become iconic in retellings of the story. Unable to endure the escalating terror, the Lutzes fled the house just 28 days after moving in, leaving behind all their belongings. Their harrowing account, chronicled in J. Anson's 1977 book The Amityville Horror, catapulted the story into the mainstream. The book's success spawned a media frenzy, including multiple film adaptations and countless investigations into the alleged paranormal activity. Yet, almost immediately, questions arose about the veracity of the Lutzes' claims. Critics pointed to inconsistencies in the timeline of events and argued that the Lutzes stood to gain financially from exaggerating their experiences. Skeptics suggested that the green slime could have been caused by mold, while other phenomena might be attributed to environmental factors or psychological stress. Even Ed and Lorraine Warren, renowned paranormal investigators who examined the house, faced scrutiny for their methods and conclusions. Despite their insistence that the property was genuinely haunted, detractors dismissed their findings as pseudoscience. Yet, the debate over Amityville's authenticity refuses to die. Over the years, additional witnesses have come forward with their own unsettling encounters. Neighbors reported seeing strange lights flickering in the windows long after the Lutzes departed, while subsequent owners claimed to experience unexplained cold spots and disembodied voices. In 1991, a team of researchers conducted a thorough investigation of the house, documenting electromagnetic anomalies and recording chilling EVP, electronic voice phenomena, sessions. While none of these findings provided definitive proof of a haunting, they added fuel to the fire of speculation. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the Amityville legend is its cultural impact. Regardless of whether the haunting was real or fabricated, the story tapped into universal fears of domestic violence, loss, and the unknown. It forced people to confront uncomfortable questions about the nature of evil and the possibility of unseen forces influencing our lives. The image of a picturesque suburban home transformed into a vessel of terror resonated deeply, reminding audiences that danger can lurk behind even the most ordinary facades. Today, the Amityville house still stands, albeit under a different address, due to safety concerns following vandalism. Its boarded-up windows and weathered exterior serve as a grim reminder of the events that transpired within. Tourists and curiosity seekers occasionally visit the site, hoping to catch a glimpse of something supernatural. Meanwhile, the story continues to evolve, with new theories and interpretations emerging regularly. Whether viewed as a genuine paranormal event or a masterful hoax, the haunting of the Amityville house remains one of the most polarizing urban legends of all time. Its ability to evoke both fascination and skepticism speaks to the power of storytelling and the enduring human desire to make sense of the inexplicable. As we navigate the blurred lines between fact and fiction, one thing is certain: the Amityville legend will continue to haunt our collective consciousness, challenging us to confront the shadows that dwell within the familiar. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. A phantom on the roadone of the most enduring and widespread urban legends is that of the Vanishing Hitchhiker, a spectral figure who appears unexpectedly on lonely roads, only to disappear without a trace. This eerie tale has been told in countless variations across cultures and continents, each version adding its own twist to the core narrative. The essence of the story remains consistent. A driver picks up a hitchhiker who suddenly vanishes, leaving behind only a lingering sense of unease and unanswered questions. Within this broad category of legends, specific instances stand out for their vivid details and the palpable sense of mystery they evoke. A particularly striking example occurred in the 1950s in Baltimore, Maryland. A young man named John was driving home late one rainy night when he noticed a woman standing by the side of the road, drenched and shivering. Feeling sympathetic, John pulled over and offered her a ride. She accepted, quietly climbing into the passenger seat. During the drive, she revealed that she was heading to a nearby cemetery to visit her fiancé's grave. Upon arriving at the cemetery gates, John turned to ask if she needed help finding the specific plot, only to discover that the seat beside him was empty. Startled, he searched the area but found no sign of the woman. Intrigued, John visited the cemetery office the next day and learned that a woman matching her description had died in a car accident years earlier while en route to her fiancé's funeral. This story, like many others involving vanishing hitchhikers, hinges on the uncanny timing and the abrupt disappearance of the mysterious passenger. Another notable incident took place in Japan, where a taxi driver picked up a fare late at night. The passenger directed him to a remote mountain road, giving vague instructions about the destination. As they ascended higher, the driver grew increasingly uneasy, noticing that the rearview mirror reflected nothing but empty seats. When he finally stopped and turned around, there was no one in the back seat. Disturbed, he reported the incident to local authorities, who identified the location as a notorious suicide spot. These tales share common elements: lonely roads, inclement weather, and a sense of foreboding, but each locale adds its unique flavor to the legend. In Hawaii, for instance, the story revolves around a young woman dressed in white who flags down drivers on winding mountain roads. She always requests to be taken to a particular church, but before reaching it, she vanishes from the vehicle. Locals interpret her appearances as omens of impending doom, warning those who see her to tread carefully. The ubiquity of the vanishing hitchhiker legend suggests a deeper resonance with human fears and anxieties. Roads, especially desolate ones, symbolize transition and uncertainty, making them fertile ground for supernatural encounters. The hitchhiker represents the unknown traveler, someone whose motives and origins are obscured by the darkness. Their sudden disappearance challenges our grasp on reality, forcing us to question whether we truly saw what we thought we did. Moreover, these stories often intersect with historical tragedies, lending them a veneer of plausibility. Many vanishing hitchhikers are said to be victims of accidents or crimes, their restless spirits roaming the places where they met their untimely ends. This connection to real-world events amplifies the emotional weight of the legend, transforming it from a simple ghost story into a poignant reminder of mortality. The Hookman, a tale of terror on Lover's Lane in the annals of urban legends. Few stories evoke as visceral a reaction as that of the Hookman, a sinister figure whose presence looms large over secluded parking spots and abandoned roads, particularly those favored by young couples seeking privacy. The legend of the Hookman is a chilling blend of suspense and horror, rooted in the primal fear of unseen dangers lurking in the shadows. This tale, with its roots deeply embedded in mid-20th century America, has evolved over decades, adapting to contemporary contexts while retaining its core elements of dread and urgency. The classic narrative unfolds on a quiet evening, typically set in a small town where rumors of a deranged escaped convict circulate among the locals. The convict, known ominously as the Hookman, is said to have lost one hand in a brutal accident and replaced it with a gleaming hook. This grotesque appendage becomes both his weapon and his trademark, instilling terror in the hearts of those who hear his name whispered in hushed tones. Couples, often teenagers, find themselves drawn to secluded areas, lovers' lanes, wooded paths, or isolated parking lots, seeking solace away from prying eyes. Unbeknownst to them, the Hookman prowls nearby, his silhouette blending seamlessly with the encroaching darkness. As the couple sits in their car, absorbed in each other, a faint scratching sound might catch their attention. Initially dismissed as branches swaying in the wind or leaves rustling against metal, the noise grows louder, more deliberate. Panic sets in when one of them notices a hooked object tapping rhythmically against the vehicle's exterior. Realization dawns too late. The Hookman is here. One of the earliest documented versions of this legend dates back to the 1950s, when a radio broadcast in Texas recounted a harrowing incident involving a young couple parked near a forested area. According to the story, the boy heard peculiar noises outside the car and decided to investigate. Moments later, his girlfriend screamed as she saw the Hookman dragging her boyfriend's lifeless body away, his hook glinting under the moonlight. Though the story was never substantiated, it spread rapidly, becoming a cautionary tale told to warn teens against venturing too far into isolation. Over the years, variations of the Hookman legend have emerged, each adding layers of complexity and nuance to the original narrative. In some versions, the couple escapes unscathed, discovering the hook embedded in their car door as evidence of their close call. Others depict more gruesome outcomes, with the hookman exacting his vengeance in brutal fashion. Modern adaptations often incorporate technological elements, an unanswered text message, a GPS malfunction, or eerie static on the radio, enhancing the tension and reflecting society's increasing reliance on digital connectivity. The hookman's appeal lies in its simplicity and universality. It taps into fundamental fears, the vulnerability of youth, the unpredictability of strangers, and the fragility of safety in seemingly secure environments. Moreover, the legend serves as a morality tale, reinforcing societal norms about appropriate behavior and the consequences of straying too far from accepted boundaries. Parents and authority figures frequently invoke the hookman to discourage risky behavior, using the specter of violence to instill discipline and obedience. The babysitter and the man upstairs, a chilling game of cat and mouse among the myriad urban legends that have gripped the public's imagination. Few are as universally recognizable, or as utterly terrifying, as the tale of the babysitter and the man upstairs. This story, which has been retold countless times in slumber parties, campfire gatherings, and late-night conversations, strikes a chord because it taps into primal fears of vulnerability, entrapment, and the lurking presence of unseen threats. At its core, the legend is a masterclass in suspense, building tension with each twist until the final, bone-chilling revelation. The basic premise of the story is deceptively simple. A young babysitter arrives at a suburban home to look after children while their parents attend a dinner party or event. The house is quiet, the evening routine uneventful, until the phone rings. On the other end, a distorted voice delivers a chilling message. "I'm upstairs. I've been watching you." The babysitter, shaken but skeptical, assumes it's a prank call and brushes it off. But the calls keep coming, each one more menacing than the last. "Check the children," the voice urges, its tone growing increasingly urgent and unhinged. Panicked, the babysitter locks the doors, checks the windows, and repeatedly reassures herself that the children are safe. Yet, the caller's words gnaw at her resolve, planting seeds of doubt and dread. What elevates this legend from a mere scare tactic to a full-blown nightmare is the eventual discovery that the caller isn't phoning from outside the house, he's already inside. The climactic moment occurs when the babysitter, unable to endure the torment any longer, contacts the police, who trace the calls in real time. To her horror, they confirm that the source of the calls is originating from within the house itself. The realization hits like a freight train. The maniac isn't just watching her. He's been in the house all along, hiding in plain sight. The babysitter's frantic attempts to escape or protect the children culminate in a desperate struggle for survival, often ending ambiguously, leaving the audience to grapple with unresolved tension. Ghostly apparitions along lonely roads among the pantheon of urban legends that haunt our collective imagination, few are as evocative and enduring as the tale of the Lady in White. This spectral figure, draped in flowing white garments, is said to appear along lonely roads and highways, often near bridges or bodies of water, beckoning travelers with her ethereal presence. Her story varies depending on the region, but the core narrative remains consistent. A tragic woman, often wronged or betrayed, seeks justice, closure, or revenge from beyond the grave. Whether encountered by lone drivers, pedestrians, or entire families, the Lady in White embodies the quintessential ghost story, one that blends sorrow, mystery, and an unsettling sense of inevitability. The origins of the Lady in White legend can be traced to countless cultures and historical periods, each adding its own unique flourishes to the tale. In some versions, she is a jilted bride who took her own life after being abandoned at the altar, her spirit condemned to wander the earth in search of her lost love. In others, she is a grieving mother whose child drowned in a nearby river, her mournful cries echoing through the night as she searches for the missing soul. Still, other accounts describe her as a victim of violence, murdered by a jealous lover or a cruel stranger, her apparition appearing as a warning to those who dare to tread her path. One of the most chilling renditions of the Lady in White legend comes from Mexico, where she is known as La Llorona, the Weeping Woman. According to folklore, La Llorona drowned her children in a fit of rage after discovering her husband's infidelity. Consumed by guilt and despair, she threw herself into the river to join them in death. Now, her ghost roams the banks of rivers and streams, wailing inconsolably as she searches for her lost offspring. Drivers who pass through these areas at night report seeing a woman in white standing by the roadside, her face obscured by a veil of tears. Some claim she approaches vehicles, pleading for help or offering cryptic warnings, only to vanish into thin air when confronted. Similarly, in the American South, the lady in white is often associated with Civil War-era tragedies. Tales abound of women who waited in vain for their soldier husbands to return from battle, only to learn of their deaths years later. Heartbroken and unable to cope, they succumb to grief, their spirits lingering near the places where they last saw their loved ones. One such story tells of a woman named Emily, who would walk along a desolate stretch of highway every night, holding a lantern aloft in hopes of spotting her husband's silhouette on the horizon. Decades later, motorists traveling the same road claimed to see her ghostly figure illuminated by the glow of headlights, still searching for the man who never came home. In Japan, the lady in white takes on a more vengeful form, embodying the archetype of the Yurei, a wrathful spirit bound to the mortal plane by unresolved anger or sorrow. Known as Oiwa, she is a character from kabuki theater and folklore, whose story has inspired countless adaptations in literature and film. Betrayed and disfigured by her unfaithful husband, Oiwa dies under mysterious circumstances, only to return as a ghost bent on vengeance. Her apparition is said to haunt specific locations, particularly those associated with her death, appearing to unsuspecting victims in mirrors or reflective surfaces. Those who cross her path are plagued by misfortune, illness, or worse, until they make amends for the wrongs committed against her. What makes the Lady in White legend so compelling is its universality. Across cultures and continents, the image of a spectral woman clad in white resonates deeply, evoking themes of love, loss, and redemption. She represents the ultimate embodiment of unresolved grief, a soul trapped between worlds, unable to find peace until her mission is complete. Her presence along roads and highways adds an extra layer of poignancy, as these spaces symbolize journeys, transitions, and the passage of time. Encountering her becomes a moment of reckoning, forcing travelers to confront their own mortality and the fragility of human existence. Eyewitness accounts of the Lady in White further enrich the legend, lending it an air of authenticity that defies easy dismissal. In rural Pennsylvania, a group of teenagers claimed to have seen a woman in white standing in the middle of a bridge late one evening. When they slowed their car to investigate, she vanished before their eyes, leaving behind a faint scent of lilacs. In Scotland, a truck driver reported picking up a hitchhiker dressed in flowing white robes, only to discover that she had disappeared by the time he reached his destination. Such stories, though anecdotal, contribute to the legend's longevity, keeping it alive in the minds of those who yearn for answers to life's greatest mysteries. Modern interpretations of the Lady in White often incorporate elements of psychological horror, exploring the blurred lines between reality and delusion. Films like The Ring and Dark Water draw heavily from this archetype, presenting protagonists who must unravel the secrets of a ghostly woman in order to save themselves or their loved ones. These adaptations highlight the enduring relevance of the Lady in White, proving that her story transcends time and medium, resonating with audiences regardless of context. Ultimately, the Lady in White serves as a reminder of the power of storytelling to illuminate the human condition. Her tale speaks to our deepest fears and desires, the longing for connection, the pain of betrayal, and the hope for redemption. Whether viewed as a literal ghost or a metaphor for unhealed wounds, she haunts us not because of what she is, but because of what she represents: the unresolved, the unspoken, and the eternal quest for closure. As long as roads stretch into the horizon and hearts ache with loss, the Lady in White will continue to glide silently through the night, her white robes trailing behind her like whispers of the past. As we reach the culmination of our journey through the top 10 creepiest urban legends that might be true, it becomes evident that these tales are not merely fragments of collective imagination but profound reflections of our deepest fears and curiosities. Urban legends, with their eerie allure and persistent presence, serve as a bridge between the tangible world we navigate daily and the realms of the unknown that fascinate and frighten us. They encapsulate the human experience, our vulnerabilities, our quests for meaning, and,